Hello once again, my fantabulous friends. It is time for another story of craziness from the internet. This is from Reddit user WC Pendragon. That is a fantastic name. This is Snape the Creep, or why you should go with your gut feelings and not meet up with guys with Death Eater tattoos at your local mall. What is a Death Eater? I am so very confused. Anyway, greetings, Moonhorse. Hello, and all of you lovely crazies of the celestial herd. Boy, oh boy, do I have a story for you today. Before we begin, allow me to list the players. Myself, or WC, your narrator, who should have made better decisions. Learn from my mistake, guys. Wifey, one of my best friends and platonic wife, who came as my moral support, but left confused and alarmed. Also, I noticed a little confusion about the platonic wife when my previous story was posted on YouTube. Basically, we jokingly call each other wife, even though we're not interested in each other romantically. It's my hetero life mate, Silent Bob. Padfoot, another of my best friends, who ended this tale disgusted and in need of a face to punch. Deserved better than what she had to deal with, even though what she had to deal with was brief. And Snape, today's creep, named after Severus Snape, due to him being a total fuckwaffle with bad fashion sense and a poor attitude. Okay, full context before I actually read this story, I don't really know a lot about Harry Potter. It's not something I got into. Sorry. Anyway. So some context before we begin. A little while ago, a friend, we'll call her Hufflepuff, and I were at a local bookshop. Now, I don't remember much about this day, to be completely honest. My memory is kind of crap at best, so I'm not exactly sure how it all went down. However, I do vaguely remember that we were in the Harry Potter merch section, and there was this guy who had a Death Eater tattoo. If you're unfamiliar, and I am, it's from Harry Potter. That explains nothing, but thank you. Hufflepuff complimented him on it, as did I. I think there's a small amount of conversation after that, but like I said, I don't really remember. Fast forward to about 2 weeks ago. Hufflepuff is texting me, and she mentions the guy with the Death Eater tattoo. He'd been messaging her about dating advice. When she gave it to him, he began talking about me. Said that he thought I was cute. Now, it's on the rarer side for me to get called cute by anyone except my friends, and in a sweet, friendly way. As a result, I'm having a meltdown. At this point, I wasn't really thinking straight. I end up contacting him on Messenger with the intent to tell him that I'm flattered, but I didn't want to get into a relationship with him. I tried being subtle, calling him man and dude, and point blank saying that I thought we'd make really good friends. Word for word. We ended up agreeing to meet at our local spot, and I, having slightly more clarity at this point, make the decision to bring Wifey and Padfoot along. I want to tell him face to face that I don't want to begin a relationship with him. However, because I literally only met him once and don't trust him, I don't want to meet him alone, in case he, tried something. This is where my clarity would end, however. This is where I'm going to stop and say that during the time leading up to this, I kept getting those internal alarms. You know, the ones where it's like a paranoid lizard part of your brain is grabbing a bullhorn and screaming abort mission at you? Those. Even though I was making plans to meet up with him, which I didn't really want to, I felt obligated to. I felt wrong. But I figured, hey, maybe I'm just overreacting. I have anxiety and most often end up overreacting and overthinking simple situations. I ignored my gut feeling. Don't do this. Don't. And when you're getting those alarm bells, listen to them. The time comes to meet him. Wifey and Padfoot and myself drive out to our local mall. We go into one of the stores, which was crowded, and text him that this is where we are so he can find us. Now, dear reader, allow me to introduce you to Snape. He's tall and lanky, wearing an outfit that, in no simple terms, made me want to cry. A black denim jacket, which, like those things, why? over top a too big blue-gray shirt, long, baggy olive green cargo-like pants, and those horrible work boots. Oh, and the sunglasses with the big red color-shifty lenses. My eyes. He comes up, slowly sauntering in what I assume he thought was a cool anime bad boy way, and greets us. I shake his hand. He grips a little too tightly. Once again, the desire to yeet myself off a balcony returns. The four of us walk around the mall and talk. Snape and I in the front, and Padfoot and Wifey behind us. Wifey sends me laughing Snapchat messages about me being on my first date. I flip her off. Snape and I make small talk, and I try to bring up topics that we chatted about in the weeks leading up to yesterday. After a moment, I can finally tell him what I've been trying to say. So, can I talk to you about something kind of serious, please? Sure. I'm gonna give him the Potter Puppet Pal Snape voice. Look, I know you came here expecting a relationship, but right now is a really bad time. My mental and emotional health are just not up to par, and I don't really want anything like that right now. Would you be okay with just being friends? It's cool, I understand. I'm a laid-back person. He sounds more like Morris Moss when I do it like that. Smarty cereal. Whatever, it's still funny. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but when a person has to tell you that they're laid back, it's a sign that they are most definitely not laid back. We keep walking around and talking for the next few hours, and I make a habit to walk a little faster and farther from him. Not too much, but I try to put some distance between us. He ignores that. For example, I walk around something in our way, and instead of going around to the other side like most people would, he goes the same way I do and gets closer. I keep getting closer to Wifey and Padfoot. I feel more comfortable with them, not as scared. A particularly memorable moment came to pass on which Snape said he'd pay $50 to anyone who got on top of a little stand where some mannequins were modeling clothes. Padfoot, being the embodiment of chaos that she is, immediately hops on top of it and stands there. She then makes eye contact with the woman a few yards away and scurries off of it like a startled meerkat. Snape then denies that he said 50, just 50-something. We all sit down at one point, and Padfoot begins rattling off some of what I like to call random 3 a.m. thoughts. You know, like, do penguins have knees? Are bowls just short cups? Why do we bake cookies but cook bacon? Snape gets unsettled and starts trying to calm himself down by imagining Jack Skellington and spiders crawling over corpses. No, you read that right. Son of a bitch damn near ruined the Nightmare Before Christmas for me now. Everything begins winding down now, little by little. Snape seems to be getting more and more annoyed. I think by now, he's starting to realize that I'm serious about us just being friends. Eventually, malls start closing up. Wifey, Padfoot, and myself say our goodbyes. I go to shake hands again, saying, I hope we can be friends in the future. He takes my hand. Unlike before, his grip hurts. It legitimately caused me pain. He held on for way too long, and he actually shook my hand way too aggressively. Even after I let go, he still kept shaking my hand to the point where my elbow was starting to hurt from how hard he was doing it. Cut to about 20 minutes or so later. 3 of us girls are at a local Wawa getting some treats, and Snape texts me. I forgot to ask you earlier, can you give me Wifey and Padfoot's social medias? They seem pretty cool chicks. This is a quirk of his. He kept calling me a pretty cool chick in the days leading up to this. And now here he was calling my friends that. My suspicion began to grow, but we figure, hey, if he decides he's going to be a dick, at least we can mess with him, right? Well, guess what I wake to this morning out in group chat. Padfoot sends me a message that says, it got worse. Now I'm wide awake. What got worse? I open the group chat and look at what she's talking about. It's a screenshot of a conversation between Padfoot and Snape. So, I think you still owe me like $50, dude. True, maybe I can spend that 50 on the both of us. What? Yeah, I may have something in mind. Insert sly-looking emoji here. I feel sick. I fucking knew it. It's only further confirmed when Padfoot says that he asked her out after that. Obviously, both Wifey and Padfoot have blocked him at this point, and we're completely disgusted. But myself, I'm livid. Not because he flirted with someone else, but because he flirted with one of my friends not even a few hours after I rejected him. He can get all butthurt that I didn't want him, and I couldn't care less about that, but to turn around and hit on the friends of the girl who just rejected him? This is the biggest nice guy / fuckboy turn I've ever seen, and honestly, I'm just completely done with this bullshit. I opened up the chat I had with Snape and left this little parting message before I blocked him. Wow. Just fucking wow. You're that desperate for a relationship that you hit on my friends in the same night I reject you? You're spineless, man. Take the tic-tac that you call a dick and go fuck yourself. To end this tale, allow me to reiterate what I said earlier. If you get a bad feeling about someone, please don't ignore it. I got lucky that this was all that he tried. But I was also with friends in a public place. Please learn from me and listen to your gut. Don't meet up with anyone who gives you a bad vibe, especially if it's a Death Eater tattoo. Thank you so much for reading this, and Moonhorse, yes? If you're checking this out, a big thank you to you. Oh, well, you're very welcome. It's nice to have a place to share my stories and my experiences. I'll be trying to put up more of my newer drabble sometime soon if you're interested in reading it. I am always interested in reading stories. With that being said, I bid everyone a good day, night, or whatever you got going on. Much love and positive vibes to all of you. That was a very good story. And a very important story, too. That is kind of a thing. There are some really creepy people out there, kids, and I've said that many times, but seriously, there's some weirdos out there. Make sure you're safe. Ah, boy. This guy, though. Definitely not getting neckbeard vibes, but the nice guy fuckboy thing, totally get that. There's a lot of that. That it is pretty slimy that he's basically just like any female he can hit on, he just goes for it. And I didn't know that kind of weirdness existed in kind of nerd communities, like people who are all into Harry Potter and stuff like that, but yeah, now I do. And oh boy, I'll definitely be looking for more stories than that. Also, I'd like to point out that this story gave me lots of nostalgia about the idea of just spending hours walking around a mall with your friends. I have not done that in a very, very long time. Mainly because I don't have any friends. Also because, like, the mall is an outdoor mall and it's really hot where I am. Sucks. I like adventures. You guys already know that. But on the same hand, always be careful on your adventures. Be prepared for whatever weird things may happen and whatever weird people you may run into. These are all possibilities. With that being said, I love you all so very much and thank you for watching. If you're enjoying this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I would appreciate all of it. And if you'd like to keep the lights on in this place, you can do that by donating to Patreon or by buying something in the merch store. Both of these things are things. And they're in the description down below. I don't know why I said both of these things as if I was going somewhere with that, and I just didn't. That was dumb. Anyway, thank you all. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!